shit. Didn't even do the intro. I didn't even do the intro. Let me run that intro, people, man.
Hayes, what you got for me?
Durag Diaries. Yeah, that's better, man. I got a proper intro now. What's good, people? Welcome back to your Tottenham transfer news show. And I don't know what's I'm really not running things right today because I don't know why it's got the road to 2K when we've hit the 2K already, because the people done big up. We're on the road to 5K. Road to 5K settings. Big up to everyone that's been a part of the support helping us get here. It is bloody hell, pardon me. It's humbling, and I'm very, very, very much appreciate all the support to help the channel get up to the 2K. But now, as you know, we can't sit around and celebrate and sit on our asses doing nothing. We got to double up and double down and go more harder. So we're going on the road to 5K, already on 2.1. Big up to everyone inside. Make sure you're smashing the like button on your way in. That should be a standard by now. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to show some extra support, you want to become a member, join the team, be a delinquent, be a descendant, tap the link in the pinned comment. And also, if you're feeling extra nice, I'm a bit thirsty right now, so you can scan this barcode to buy me a coffee. But as you guys know, there has been plenty of transfer stories all over the place. And you know, Durag Diaries is the place to be for everything on that side of things. But today, we are going to be touching on the few players that have been interested in a move to Spurs. Although we know there has been some movement in the back room. Wagwan to Donna. Think this is going to be our last time seeing her on stream. Or maybe you might see her on stream more often, because she now hasn't got a job. Donna has been sacked, or technically resigned from her post at Spurs as I think it's commercial director. I don't even actually know her specific role. But Daniel Levy's right-hand woman. That's not that. She's been sacked. And as she says here, it's my last time coming into your chats as a board member and executive director of the mighty Tottenham. And I'm here to say my last wagwan and goodbye to you. Big up to Donna Cullen. Onwards and upwards in your future and all them things. Hopefully you do better. But if you ain't got a job, you can be an administrator for Durag Diaries. Think about it. Think about it. But big up to Mustafa in the building. Big up Douglas Louise, road to 5K. You know what it is. We hit that 2K over the weekend, man. Feeling extra nice. Man like Bango, you are going to the top, bro. Big up to you, Bango. I appreciate the support. Love from South Africa. Hey, big up to the people watching from South Africa. I know Big Six is going to be over there, and I hope you, man, fry up the... Let's say you know, yeah, his team is cooked, yeah? 4 times this season, you know? Not 3, not 2, 4 times. Was 3 not enough? Let him know. Make sure you let him know when he's outside there. Don't give him the big up. Slow them man up there. But yes, big up my guy Joshua. Come on, my guy. Man like Raf in the building. Yes, Jords, what you saying? That? Yes, I'm good, Raf. You know where it is feeling also good. It's a Monday and there's some Spurs transfer news to keep up on. So yeah, man, how much are you paying me per week? We can talk, but you need to accept the job and then we can talk about pay. You see me? I'm on a Drewski thing. I need to know that you're in it because you want to be in it. We can talk about pay afterwards, but I need to know you're here because you want to be here, Donna. So if you want to be the job and you want to be administrator, you got to reply and say that you're here, do your cover letter thing, and then we get you on a 360 deal where your earnings are monetized into the fact of how good your job is doing, how the channel's doing, and percentages and all of that stuff. You know, we get you in touch with some agents and we'll sort you out. Yeah, 360 settings. So if you want it, let me know. Let me know. But Sane plus Tel, you know, well, I'm not mad. I just want better midfielders, etc. Everyone's starting. They're starting to get into the transfer news already. Look, I'm gonna get started on the transfer news. There's no doubt about that. Let me get into some of the transfer news and the players we have been linked with. Because as you guys know, as you can see in the thumbnail, the 3 players we're gonna be discussing today are the wingers that we've been linked with more heavily over these last couple of weeks. I'm only focusing on in this transfer news show players that we've actually been linked with a few times. Don't want to just see one story and do one of these streams about it. So when I've seen multiple links, that's the ones I'm going to cling on to. So you're not going to see me just throw random players' names out there unless I see multiple. But first player on this list is going to be a player we're already familiar with. And as you guys knew, this is the one player who's already in a Tottenham shirt last season. Man like Matisse Tel. Now, Tel is a player who we've seen this season. We know what to expect from him at this point. And I need to be honest, I'm not that impressed with him. Now, compared to the expectation I had when we brought in Tel, I had him at about a 5 out of 10 signing. I didn't expect too much from him, but I thought he'd be a good player. I thought he'd be more exciting than he was. Looking back at it in hindsight, I thought that his dribbling was pretty good, but it left a lot to be seen when you actually wanted to see the impact in that final third where he would chop in, create a chance, chop in, shoot, and actually be a bit more clinical, what you would see from a top player. He's good. He had a good shot at times, good shot at times. He had an eye for goal, you could say, but he only scored, I think, 3 goals in his time at Spurs. Let me just get up the stats here. In fact, let me share the screen with all the stats so we can actually break it down and go through his time at Spurs properly. So as you can see here, in 13 appearances for Tottenham, he had 2 goals, 1 assist. Now, it's not that impressive. It's really not that. Well, let me fix this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's not that impressive. Didn't get no high numbers. In Europa League, 5 games, no goals. FA Cup, we already know one game, 1 goal, and that was the goal where he actually scored that he meant to score. But the other one was a penalty. Then the other goal outside of that, it hit onto his shin. So we have to be honest here. Matisse Tel was very underwhelming in his spot at Tottenham. Now, that doesn't mean it would necessarily be a bad signing for us because he is a player where it's going to take the long term to really see the difference. Oh, no, just deep. I've got overlay on and this, so it's overlapping and it's all looking mad right now. It's all looking mad. My bad for the people that would have noticed that. Yeah, there we go. Now, yeah, things is looking better now. Yeah, you see how we go on in little overlay settings. Trying. But back to it, yes. It doesn't mean necessarily that Matisse Tel would be a bad long-term signing for Spurs. He is just 19 years of age. He does have 20 years of age. He does have a lot of room for growth. But I don't think that he's the player that we need off the left wing. You can see here he plays left wing and centre forward, and he was deployed in both positions for Tottenham. But in centre forward, just lacked the required impact. Now, it was impacted by the way that Tottenham were playing. I don't think Ange Postecoglou was playing towards his strength, so it definitely didn't help Tel in those situations. But we just have to be honest. A striker is a striker, and a striker scores goals. He wasn't scoring goals. He wasn't clinical. He wasn't beating his man, and he was not causing defenders problems. So, ultimately, he wasn't good enough. And Matisse Tel's not good enough. Now, Spurs have been rumoured, I think, to be trying to work out a deal to get the fee down. Let me share this article that I was read. where it says Tottenham are looking to negotiate a £30 million deal for the attacker. Now, we know that the original obligation... Oh, yeah, we don't need audio from there. We know that the original obligation was set at around 50 million euros. 55 million euros. So it worked out to around £50 million deal, including the loan. He's not worth that. He's far from worth that. But Bayern Munich are very eager to get rid of him. So they are looking to negotiate with Tottenham to work out a deal. As you can read in this article, it says Spurs are required to pay £50 million to sign Tel permanently, but they are reluctant to meet the asking price. On the other hand, Bayern have almost made the decision to offload Tel after a messy breakup at the end of January. Tel is one of the players who could generate funds for the Bavarian club, and Christian Falk informed CFB that Bayern want to renegotiate with Daniel Levy for Tel's departure. Bayern CEO Jan-Christian Dressen has good contact with Spurs, and he will lead the talks. The German giants are willing to demand less than the agreed clause of £50 million and could lower the asking price to £30 million. Now, see the bottom of that? We're not going to get into that as of yet. We're not going to get into that as of yet. But as you can see in that article, they are willing to negotiate. Now, for £30 million, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think if this is a £30 million deal that Tel should be a player we look at? I think that he's not of the required level. I think we saw enough this season, and at 20 years of age, he's not given us the quality that we need, so we need to move on to more proven targets. And that's where we're going to get on to our next transfer in the guy that we've been linked with heavily over the past couple months. And Spurs have been in for him since January. We know that the links have been out there. Spurs want this player. Spurs are leading and being favourites for this player. But that is the man pictured here. The kid, you could say. Tyler Dibling. Tyler Dibling. He has had, you could say, breakout season of some sorts for Southampton. He performed in the Premier League where they did get relegated, had one of the worst years, but was one of the players that stood out for them in some of their bad moments. Going forward, looks like he's a problem. A very gifted and technical dribbler. And when it comes to shooting, last week where there was a time in the youth days where you watch him score a hat-trick and they're all identical goals. All identical goals. But Tyler Dibling is a player that Spurs has been linked with. Now, writing in his exclusive Give Me Sport newsletter, Romano has confirmed that all top clubs admire Southampton youngster Dibling, but there is nothing concrete ongoing as it stands. Responding to a question of Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur's interest, Romano said he's been linked with several clubs every week. All top clubs like him, but still nothing concrete ongoing. Reports have suggested that Tottenham would be willing to offload Brazilian forward Richarlison to secure the signature of Dibling in the transfer window. So we could get rid of Richarlison to bring in Tyler Dibling. And again, I'm underwhelmed. This is so underwhelming. Tyler Dibling last season, just have a look at some of his stats. 33 goals, 33 appearances, madness. Never scored 33 goals. 33 appearances, 2 goals, 0 assists, 2.4 balls recovered per game. It's not a lot. It's not like he's doing much. Successful dribbles 1.4 at a 50% ratio, which is good, but he's not pulling up trees again. And ground duels 3.9 at 48%. So you can see that this guy is not going crazy. He's not doing the things that many people think that he's doing. He's not the £50 million or £60 million player that Southampton think he is. He's talented. He has a lot of talent at that. The goals he did score this season, just the two of them, were good goals. But away from that, he reminds me a lot like Jack Grealish. And what is the problem with Jack Grealish? Jack Grealish has the issue where he's all foreplay. He will do you outside the box. He's going to give you a little jink. He's going to drop his shoulder. He's going to rub the thigh. You know, you guys know what I mean. He's going to rub the thigh. gonna stroke it down the backside. Might even pull the hair a little, you know, just play around. But he's not gonna do nothing in the box. Not gonna penetrate. He's not gonna cause the issues where you need them to be caused. 2 goals, 0 assists, and you're telling me £50 million? Am I a prick? This guy could not fleece me. Southampton would be doing the God's work if they get £60 million from Tottenham for him. I can't believe that Daniel Levy and Tottenham are even interested in paying this amount of money. This is how much we paid for Richarlison, and we got absolutely sucked. We know the Richarlison deal, we got absolutely fleeced. We can all accept that. I was the first guy to tell you when the deal happened. This is a good deal. Look at his numbers. Double-digit numbers in multiple seasons. Watched him play. It wasn't good enough. It was not good enough across the season. It was barely available. And when he was available, it just wasn't there. And now with Tyler Dibling, we're having a similar issue here. Because you're asking for a player that's at 60, 65 million. He does not score that many goals. Doesn't assist. We're going to look at some of his other numbers as well. Yeah, let's look at some of his other numbers. Because I got the data metrics up here. And even here, when you look at the percentiles, it's nothing to throw your arms up in the air about. It's nothing to get gassed about. All he really, really is good at is progressive carries, and that's where he excels here. His progressive carries at 75.9, which is fairly good, especially for his age. We have to take into consideration he's only 19, so he's very young. In comparison to Tel, you can compare them very similarly. He's 19, 75.9 progressive carries, 68.2 dribbles. So that's where he's really strong. When he's on the ball at his feet, running at his man, he's a problem. There's no doubt about that. He is a problem. But away from that, he's not doing enough. Non-penalty goals, 22.7. XG and expected assists, 5.5. 0.2 assists in total, which is crazy. Is nothing. Like, he's right in the middle. Now, this is where I have a problem. Key passes and attacking actions. 14.8 just is not good enough. For a player that's supposed to be spending that amount of money on, someone that's supposed to have impact in the final third, supposed to be a shot creator and a chance creator, 14.8 in key passes is not good enough, and the 42.3 in attacking action. So for me, I think, look, it goes to show here, Tyler Dibling, through these stats, and from what you see with your eyes, isn't at the level yet. Now, in 3 to 4 years, we may be looking back and saying, rah, we missed one. But I can't lie, I'm willing to accept to see how that plays out if we do actually miss out on him. Because at this moment in time, I think Tyler Dibling needs another 2-3 seasons, maybe at Southampton or another team at the next step, whether that's a Brighton, Bournemouth, just at another step above to then prove the level that he's willing to compete at. And I don't think it's at the European Champions League level as yet, but he is a talented player. He definitely is a talented player, and I'd be wrong to say otherwise. There's no doubt about that. But let me go to the chat, big up some of the people in the chat for a second, yeah? Big up to Drula. Afternoon, Jords and chat. Champion Drula, sorry. European champion Drula. You know, fellow Spurs mole. As you can see, membership badge in the name. This is a real one. If you want to be like Drula, make sure you tap the link in the pinned comment to become a member. Show your support. Become a delinquent. Man like Joshua says, yeah, we're getting Angel Gomez, but I want Edison. We're going to do a video on the midfielders later on this week. So keep a lookout for that. Post notification bell to know when that's going to be coming out. Big up to Jords, a.k.a. Durag Diaries. Man like John 15. You know where it is. Are you guys still linked to Eze? We are. There's a lot of links to Eze. And I did release a video on Eze. So go watch that and then come back to this video. Yeah, we spoke about Eze in our last Tottenham transfer news. Trust me. But man, like, what's the point? FC says Tel's rubbish. I get your feelings on that. A lot of people have strong opinions on Tel and that he isn't that good enough. But you guys know how I feel. I don't think we should sign him. He's not a bad player, but I don't think we should sign him. Man like Ghosted, big up Jords and the chat. Big up to you, my brother Ghosted. As you can see, that's another member in the building. They're assembling. They are assembling. But go get Embuemo and Wissa. Levy putting the club into further debt. Yeah, man, there's no doubt about that. They want rid of him because he sucks. That's about Tel. Yeah, man. I think they want rid of him because he's not good as well. But people, what likes are we on? What likes are we on? 16 likes. 65 people in here. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, people. Let's get these likes up. As we know, for a standard video, 50 likes is the aim. You don't get to 50, that's calm. But you can at least help us get close to 50. So make sure you smash the likes. In fact, take a second, smash the likes. I'm going to wait. We're going to get up to at least 25, 30 before I carry on. Let's get out. Let's get up. Before I even say anything, I'm just, you know, we're doing mute settings. We're doing mute. Until we get up to 25 likes, we're doing mute. Oh, we're on 25 likes. All right, now I can come off mute. Yeah, doing up mute settings. I don't know if people forgot. Like, I was all sitting there quiet, thinking, "Rah, we're gonna do the rest of the stream quiet." Is that what man them are on? Like, we can do a quiet stream if you want, but hey, thank you, people. Finally, I can say what I really feel for releasing me. Finally, pause, but pause for man releasing me. But yeah, man, we have Mickey Moore. Why do we need Dibling? It's a very good point, Odes Fase, yeah? It's a very good point. Why are we signing more young, up-and-coming wingers when we have Mikey Moore and Yamin Hyuk? We were sold on Yamin Hyuk being the next son. So why do I need Tyler Dibling? If I've got him and Mikey Moore, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Ryan, they're trying to koala us, bro. They're trying to steal all our money, bro. And I don't know what's going on, because clearly we're buying into it. We got Champions League football. And we want to sign Dibling. Ridiculous club. Trust me, it's ridiculous. But sell Basuma and get Baleba up. Second season, mate, you're spitting. Even though the price difference is going to be mad. There's about like 70 million price difference between them. But you are spitting. You're definitely spitting. Man like Hammers, big up Jords. Just say you want Edison from Atlanta. Yeah, man. Definitely do want Edison from Atlanta. I think he's cold. Man like Star Crow. Big up George. You know, Levy is going for all the free transfers, and for whatever reason, he thinks Tel will turn out to be on I don't know what I don't know what. I actually don't think Daniel Levy watches the same football as us. I don't think that Daniel Levy watches the same football as us, because I don't see how you can watch Matisse Tel and think, yeah, I want this guy. It doesn't make sense. But don't know if this is true. But either apparently we're looking into Barcola as well. If I would choose between getting Barcola to Tel, I'd 100% sacrifice the money on Tel to get Barcola. Now, I did actually see some stuff on Barcola, but the report that I saw was from SPB Jacko, which I've never heard to be any reputable source. I've never heard the journalist, never heard of anyone reference this guy when they say, yeah, I've seen this transfer report and this is what they've said. And this guy is the one that's like, no one's ever said that and it's come out to be fact. So I did sort of ignore it. I did take it with a pinch of salt. But let me not lie. This could be a very exciting one. This was a player that Chelsea was in for him 2 years ago before he went to PSG. And I said, from seeing this guy at Lyon, he's dangerous. The link up he had with Lacazette, he was getting crazy. And he's still good. I know they've just won Champions League, so I think they might try and, keep some of their French stars. But if we could go get Bradley Barcola, we are asking questions. We are actually going out there and doing good business. but I don't think it's going to happen. There is another player from PSG that we could potentially look at, and Lee Kang in, but I don't want to get into that too much. But whilst we're still talking about some of the other transfers that are going on. Now, away from Tyler Dibling and Matisse Tell, we know the final player that we have been linked with quite heavily, and we'll go back to that report, is man like Leroy Sane. Leroy Sane has been linked with Tottenham for a move through not just his through his agents, but also journalists coming out of Sky, coming out from some of the bigger journalists as well, saying that Tottenham are now favourites. I saw Tottenham are leading the race to go and get Sane. He wants to come to London to stay close to his family. That has been made apparent. I also saw a little, I don't know if you could take it from a pinch of salt or not, but I saw this video going around of my guy Sonny with the arm around the shoulder, him and Madders doing the little whispers, letting him know, bro, Tottenham's the place to be. Look, we just won our champ. Yeah, you want to come and see what we're doing over here? You want to join a real legacy? Come over to our side. This side, North London, wins trophies. We win stuff. That side, 5-year trophy drought. I can't say the same thing. So I'm hoping that Sonny was doing up agent when he was talking to him. But the reports does say here that Tottenham are also keen to sign Bayern Munich winger Leroy Sane, who has rejected a contract extension offer from the club. This could see Spurs secure double deals for Sane and Tel this summer, but it does appear difficult. Now, Leroy Sane will be made available on a free at the end of this month. He has left Bayern Munich by mutual agreement because it's the end of his contract and doesn't want to renew. If you look at his stats last season, some people will sit there and tell you that he's finished, he's not good, he's 29 years of age, he's past his peak. But I looked into the numbers as well as when I watched Bayern, I saw that this was still a very good player, still has a lot of impact. Maybe doesn't have the explosive pace that he once had, not being able to run at defenders, cause too many problems all the time. He's still very much impactful in those final third areas. Now, you can already see here when it comes to positions played, 20 off the left, 25 off the right. He's versatile. That's more than anything one of the key reasons as to why Spurs we need him. We need someone that can play off the left, but also on the right. Leroy Sane does both of them at such a good level. Now, in the season as a whole, he played 45 games. So I've also heard people say that this guy's injury prone, which is absolute BS because there has been no injuries in the last couple of seasons. I think he has. You can go check it, but I did look at it the other day and I'm going as far as to say he's missed about 12 games in 6 years. So if that's injury prone to you, then I don't know what injury prone is. But last season, he played 45 games, got 13 goals, 6 assists. 11 of those goals came in the Bundesliga in 30 games. And you can scroll further down to see that he was a key starter. He barely come off the bench, started most of these games. And as you can see, apart from this start of the season period, for those first few months, once he got into gear in December, he was getting a goal or assist every other game, having a significant impact for the team. And the games he wasn't getting assists in, you can see he's getting subbed off 29 minutes, 27 minutes, 64 minutes, 63 minutes. He's 22 minutes. He's not having that much time. So if he's not having an impact into the game, that's when he's been taken off. But when you actually leave him on for the full 90, he more often than not either gets a goal or an assist. When you look at his data MB stats, now we just looked at Dibling, so I'm going to leave Dibling up there just so you can see a comparison between him and Sane. Just relative. Obviously, one player is 19 and one's 29. But just to show you the relativity when it comes to being who you should sign and the price and so on that comes to them. Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, Dibling's going to cost you 60 million pounds, but you can put him on 50k wages or 60k and he'll be happy. Leroy Sane is going to cost you 250k a week. You can't have these on your wages. No, this is the difference between 250k a week and 50k a week. Yeah, 60 million pounds signs you the blue circle. or diagram, whatever this is, yeah, £0 signs you this. Yeah? Like, it's making sense, people. Progressive carries, 93.0. One of the best around when it comes to running at their man and progressing the ball. Now, dribbles, 79.3. Again, much higher than the number that Tyler Dibling has. You can see here, he excels in carries and dribbles. Non-penalty goals, he hasn't scored any penalty goals. So it's 99.1 percentile, the 98.2 percentile for expected goals and expected assists, because he's always in the right areas and he's very good and clinical in those areas. His assist numbers, 78.6 percentile. So he's high when it comes to getting assists. But more than anything, when I told you guys what I didn't like about Tyler Dibling, you may have thought, why? Are you going to be consistent? Look at the key passes and attacking actions, 97.3, 89.3, and this is in less minutes, 400 less minutes, which isn't significantly that much amount. It's about 5 games, 6 games. But this is where he excels. Where Tyler Dibling has near to no impact when it comes to expected goals and expected assists, key passes, and actual attacking actions. Sane excels in all 4 areas. And this is where Spurs need to improve. We need wingers that excel in that front line. Wingers that can go out there and get the ball moving, win you a game when you need someone to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, create something out of nothing. That's where Leroy Sane can come in and give you a goal, give you an assist, give you a chance. This guy is so much more than what Tyler Dibling will offer, and he has a lot to offer for Spurs. He has a lot to offer for Spurs. So I'm not sure about you guys, but Leroy Sane is one of my top options. When you speak about the availability, because he's for free, as well as the ability that he's going to offer when he comes on the pitch. So to combine the deal and the player, this is the best possible deal out there Spurs can get. I'm not going to lie. I think it's the best possible deal Spurs can get. Sane, in my opinion, is just a better Johnson, can dribble and can shoot. Replace him for Johnson and watch us grow. Do you know what, Raf? I just want to clarify. When you say just a better Johnson, no, he is better than Johnson at everything Johnson does. He's not a better Johnson. He's just way better than Johnson. So I just want to clarify that, Raf, innit? Because that is a bit mad. That is a bit mad. Man, them are talking about Daniel. He's a better Son. He's definitely better than Son too. He's definitely better than Son. I saw a report saying the plan is to play Sane on the right, so he's going to bench Johnson. Now, I think Sane is better off the right, but I would want to use him off the left. Now, I think Odegaard is better off the left. So if we do bring him in, it's probably better to use him off the right and then have Odegaard off the left. And that's both your options. You got 2 players. And Sane, that'll be very similar to his link up he had at Bayern, because, you know, he had Sane on the left-hand side, Elise on the right. And, you know, that's the German to French connection. We've got the German-French connection, but with Odegaard coming through. So if he wants to do that, we can replay that connection and make it happen. It would definitely be an interesting one. Ode, as for says, I've watched Sane last 2 seasons. He'll get fan off their seats. Still an explosive player. Yes, he is still explosive now. Not to the level that he was previously at Manchester City 7 or 8 years ago. His ACL went, and also he was just a much younger player. But now he still has that proven quality. Sane scoring against teams with substantially lesser squad wage bill. That's fine. What's the point, FC? Well, what is the point in talking about teams that having a substantially lesser squad wage bill when every top team has a substantially more wage bill? So he's always going to score against teams that are less. Don't know what that really does to me. I'm not going to lie. And I think a lot of good players come out of the German league. So I'm not going to rub out the league and be like, oh, is the German league even like viable to take a player from, or is his stats viable? Yeah, you can discount them a little bit, but at the same time, you've seen enough of Sane at the top level in the Champions League, in the Premier League, to say that this is a top player. And who is Jords comparing? I'm comparing no one at this point of time. I was just going through the Leroy Sane stats, but we was looking at Tyler Dibling in the previous 10 or so minutes. So he's just still on the screen because of that. But make sure you guys are smashing the like button on this video. Right now, we are on 36 likes, should be up at 50, but we're going to hold out because we do have our last segment of the show where we are going to be doing actual comparisons. We are going to do a full comparison of all the players that we have spoken about today to see the actual matchups between them and how good they are in their respective leagues. Now, as stated, there is one player in Leroy Sane that is 29 years of age, Dibling that is 19, Matisse Tel is 20. So the profiles and ages and expectations of these players are very, very, very different. Just want to make that clear. They are very different. But at the same time, the comparison's all fair because Tottenham needs to sign a player. I don't care about their ages. I want to sign a player. And these are the three players that we are in for. So these are the three players that we are going to be comparing to each other. Ultimately, we're comparing what signings are going to be better for Spurs, not which players are necessarily better. But before we get to that, we do have a super in the building. Man, like Gary Brown just super chatted a little $5. Big up to Gary Brown. I appreciate you for the support, my bro. Big up to you. Next time, if you want a super chat, just make sure send me a little message if you want it, man. Let us know if you've got anything to say. But more than anything, appreciate the support. Appreciate you for the super chat. Again, I need someone to plug me with a soundboard, man. Let me know where I can get a soundboard so we can start doing the when the super chats come through. But onto the comparison, and I can't even lie. Some shocking stats revealed. But there's also some things that aren't shocking. Some things that aren't shocking. And that is that Leroy Sane is blowing these men out of the water in nearly every single stat. Now, Tyler Dibling will have one green on his name so far, and that is on the games played in 33 games. Now, Matisse Tel obviously played significantly less minutes than Tyler Dibling and Leroy Sane because he come into Spurs at the second half end of the season. But that's why we've done it at per 90. So all the stats are per 90. So it's averaged out across the amount of games that they played. So it's fair. It's not high amounts. It's not going to be Sane's played 30 games, so he's got way. In fact, it's probably going to be harder for Sane and Dibling to have higher numbers than Tel in certain things because he's played less games. So the numbers are skewed to a smaller area. Basic maths, you know. People should know them things there. But onwards from the games and the minutes. Shots on target. Leroy Sane, 1.7. Tyler Dibling, 0.5. Matisse Tel, 0.9. So already you can see here, the Matisse Tel is, when it comes to shot creating actions, is better than Tyler Dibling at that. Actually getting the ball on target in the net. They did both score the same amount of goals in the league. But because Tyler Dibling obviously played 33 games and he played 13, his one averaged out to 0.1 per game as opposed to 0.2, and Matisse still got 0.1. But Tyler Dibling actually had 0 assists, so he's at 0 here. But when you see Leroy Sane, 0.7 per game, so nearly having a goal. He's literally having a goal contribution per game with his 0.7 per game for goals and 0.3 for assists. So GA in total, 1 GA per game. You can be safe to say that he will average out, or 0.5 per game, you could say, because obviously it's me per 2, but still a very good number when you're looking at a winger, someone that you want to create, someone you want to come in and have an instant impact. Now, away from that, chances created per game, this is where you want your wingers, and this is probably one of the key metrics where you're looking at someone who's going to have a significant impact in the team and how good they are going forward. Leroy Sane averages 2 chances created per game, whereas Tyler Dibling averages just 1. Again, you can see he's almost double the player he is in that sense. And then Matisse Tel at 1.4. So far, I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised at these numbers that I got Tel higher than Dibling in certain things. I'm not going to lie. Definitely surprising because I thought Dibling was going to have higher numbers than Tel, but clearly, I've not watched Southampton enough. Clearly, all these little games we watch Southampton in against the big teams, he looks good. He's feeling himself a little, and he's doing the things. But in the actual consistent run across Southampton season, clearly not been that good. Clearly not been that good. Man like Big Knot letting us know that NAF has raided up. Big up to everyone that's come over from Never a Foul. Big up to Cass and the team. Man said they were still going on till then. Make sure you smash a like on your way in. That should be a standard. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost 5K. Well, we're on the road to 5K. Just hit 2K. But we're on the road to 3K. Almost at 3K. We will be. I'm just going to start saying it now. As we said, what we done with the final, manifestation. We're doing that. We're putting up in there. We're almost at 3K. So make sure you smash the likes. Big up to everyone in the building, as BT Slim says here. Man like Ghosted. Smash the like button, people. Smash the like button. But as we can see here, passes attempted from Leroy Sane, 46.8, as opposed to 28.2 from Tyler Dibling and 22 from Matisse Tel. So Leroy Sane is more involved in the game. He's getting around. He's doing passes. He's doing a lot of... One thing I've noticed from Leroy Sane that he's really good at is the give and go. You give it to... He gets the ball. He'll do a 1-2 of you and he's blowing. As soon as he gets that second touch, running at his man, he's gone. Say salam alaikum. He's gone. He's gone. Forget about it. Like, once he gets at you, and as you can see here, his take-ons is actually matched with at Tyler Dibling. It's the one thing that Tyler Dibling does really excel in. Take-ons completed. 2.2 they both average per game, as opposed to Matisse Tel's 1.5, which is still pretty good, 1.5, but not at the high numbers that we need for our touchline wingers that are needed in the Ange, in current, I suppose I should say, Ange's current system. But fouls won. That's where Tyler Dibling does excel. He gets more fouls won, and then ultimately touches in opponent box has been a lot more for Sane. Now, I do think these numbers will be inflated because Bayern do tend to dominate their teams. So you are going to see Leroy Sane have much higher touches in the box than some of the other players. But you can see here, it has been represented pretty well that Leroy Sane is the better player of the three. Leroy Sane is the signing that Spurs should make. And he's the only player of the three that's going to cost nothing. He's going to cost nothing. This should be a no-brainer, people. This should be a no-brainer. Now, the one thing where I will be disappointed, is if we go and even if we sign another winger, we don't try and get Sane. If Sane doesn't move to another big club, Spurs have to be that team that go into him. Now, if he accepts another move elsewhere, I'm not going to be mad at the club because it is what it is. I don't feel like we have as much to offer at this moment of time as some of the other big European clubs because they're competing for leagues and so on. And I expect Sane at his level of player, with respect to him, he's been doing things for a while. He's literally been... Who's been exposed? Who's been exposed? I've been thrown off. Who's been exposed? Oh, Tony. Come on, man. This is why I ignored him. This is why I ignored him. I didn't even pay attention to it. I know this is Ashley. Leroy Sane is a backman move. I would have gone for a better winger against low blocks. That's German league. I don't think it's a good move. Who do you think is a good move, Ashley? Please tell me who you think is a good move. Man like Philly, big up to you, my bro. I hope you're good. But let me know who you think is a good move. Who do you think is a good move? Tony, who do you think is a good move? Let us know. And very much, who do you guys think is the best move of the three in the chat? Let me know. Let me know your comparisons in the chat. Who is the better move of the three? Is it Sane? Is it Dibling? Is it Tel? If you're watching back on playback, let me know in the comments. What is the better deal for Spurs and who is the better player? Let me know. PFC has got Sane. Big up to you as well, my brother. I hope you're well. My like Raf has Larry Sane. Tony says it's not Sane. My like Fake Pundit. Big up Durag and chat. Big up to you, Fake Pundit. I hope you're well. He says, I can't listen... I can't take you seriously when you Turk for Frank. I don't know what you're on about with Turking for Frank. You're bugging out. More name changes than trophies in the 21st century is crazy. Man like Bango wants dribbling. I hear it. I do hear it. If you're trying to do the English quota, trying to sign a homegrown player, then I get your point on that side of things. But we need proven quality, Bango. Let's be real, man. We need someone to come in and have instant impact. Champions League level players. We got to do it. We got to be smart about this. James has got Sane all day, but should try get told to. Tony will go for Dibling. I hear it. I hear it. Dibling is a young talent, though. That's exactly what I've been saying, man. Dibling is very much a young talent. I'd get both Dibling and Sane. NS says, look, you are dreaming. You're dreaming, but hey, we can only dream. Manifestation. Put good things up into the air. Frank Warren, I'd rather have the boxer. I don't even know what you're talking about, Frank Warren. Why would I know Frank Warren or what we even on about here? What are we on about here? I don't even know what you're talking about, Frank Warren, Tony Ashley, whoever you are. And then Bango's got Bakayoko from PSV. That's another good option. I haven't seen Spurs linked to him as of yet, but that is another good option. But people, we're now on 53 likes. Okay. I was just about to flame up the chat to say what's going on over these sides because I'm seeing not 50 likes in them things, but it refreshed itself and it come up and it's saying, okay, you got 50 likes for this video. So I'm not going to say nothing. Big up to everyone to helping us get to the like goal of 50 likes. Just make sure you're smashing it still if you haven't already, because we've got 147 people inside. If you've got any questions before I head out, let me know. Drop them in the chat and I'll answer your questions on transfers. Man like Cali, bless up man like Jords, bless up to you as well. And I'll try to get round to those questions before we head up and send you guys over to someone else. Ryan G says, get Leroy Sane and Mohamed Amora from Wolfsburg. Spotlight on Spurs. Luke has got Embuemo and Eze. Get it done. We can dream, man. We can dream. Soleimani from Southampton. Good 2 on the left wing. He was a problem. Graham, taking on his man, he was good. Don't know about scoring too many goals. I don't know if he gone too much, but definitely on taking on his man. Yeah, you do. You was twerking for Brentford manager. We beat them 3 times under Andrew, drew once. I definitely wasn't twerking for Frank. That's what I mean. This guy doesn't watch my content, bro. Tony, you need to actually tune in and watch content because I've never once twerked for Frank. I've said quite numerous of times that I don't want Frank. And I actually have a video coming out in 30 minutes where you're going to hear a bit more about that. The boardroom breakup. Make sure you keep a lookout for that. And if you are a member, you already have access because memberships get you exclusive content and exclusive access. So if you are a member, I have dropped a new video on the channel, boardroom breakup. Make sure you go watch that straight after this. I am going to send you guys over to, let's see who's live. Let's see who's live. Let's see who's live. Man like Deluded Gooner. Deluded Gooner's live with Hooks and D. So I'm going to send you guys over to DG's show. Make sure you guys slap a DRD raid in his chat so he knows where you have come from. Durag Diaries raid otherwise, but just let him know that you guys have come over from your boy Durag Diaries. Keep a lookout for the release coming at 6 p.m. And until then, and until next time, the Tottenham Transfer News Show, we will be back. I've got plenty of uploads coming. We have been working, people. So keep a lookout for the uploads and make sure you drop Durag Diaries, DRD raid in the chat. And yo, big up to Gary Brown for another super chat in the building. Big up to you for dropping another $5. I appreciate the support, Gary. Really appreciate the support. So big up to you, my bro. I hope you're having a blessed day. And I hope everyone else is having a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Keep a lookout for more transfer content from your boy, Jords. And until next time, we are out.